How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. We're going to have a lot of fun painting a polar bear today. Quinn, what's the matter? You really look down, you're bringing down the film. I guess I'll tell you. It's my girl, Penny. Penny Oakley back in Ireland. Well, I told her I was coming to America. To make it big, you know. And send for her. I told her I'd send for her in 4 months. Well, it's been 6 months. I think she's moved on. I really do. I just don't know what to do. Well, I can't help you with issues of the heart. I'm sorry about that. But if you want, maybe we can talk a little bit more later. That's okay. Don't worry yourself. Manny, he's got an idea. He's a scientist, you know. He says he's made a machine to take me back in time. And he'll fix everything. What? Listen, Manny is no scientist. Please, don't do anything until you and I can talk a little bit later, okay? But just don't listen to Manny, please. For you that are following along, go ahead and draw your picture right now if you're following along. There it is right there. And in a moment, we'll go ahead and mix our colors. All right, we begin with our palette. On our palette, we have titanium white, Van Dyke brown, raw sienna, burnt sienna, Naples yellow. Naples yellow is a wonderful color. I think it's a color that everyone should add it to their palette. Cadmium orange, cadmium red light, cerulean blue, ultramarine blue, and doxycyme purple. So then let's go ahead and mix the colors. We're ready to start with our polar bear. What I've done here, first of all, is I put a light wash of acrylic, as you see. It's not detailed, it's just kind of to help me gauge the inside color, especially because the polar bear is so light. Sometimes what happens is if you try to paint where the main object is very light and your background is light or white, then it's hard to gauge the contrast. So I did a simple wash here to help me gauge the contrast. Let's go ahead and begin then, now that we have our palette mixed. And we will start off. I would suggest that with the whites, with the white paint, that you get a very good quality white paint. A paint that is opaque. And what I mean by that is, I mean that a color that will cover well. What happens with the student grade paints is they're semi-translucent. And so with the translucent colors, they don't always cover very well. Or you'll have to go over it several times. Now here I'm using, so far I'm using just a few of the, a little bit of the lighter colors that I mixed with yellow ochre. And as I said, I love this paint. Love, love yellow ochre. Comes in handy so many ways, so many places. We're not going to do the whole bear, part of the bear. And the parts I do, that'll kind of give you the basis for doing the rest. Now in the bear we do have the yellow areas, but also we have areas that are just a little whiter. They almost have a coolness to the white. And so for that I used white with just a touch of blue in it, cerulean blue that is. Like here in his ear, it starts off a little whiter. And his cheeks here. This bear we photographed at the Albuquerque Zoo. He was beautiful, he was playful, he was playing with the ball. Now, let's see, let's go into some of our grays. In the grays, I mixed a cooler gray and a warmer gray. The cooler gray has, besides gray, it has just a touch of cerulean blue in it. And then I did a warmer gray, which has a little bit of purple in it, or violet. One helps balance the other out. That way it won't be extreme. Let's do some of our grays in here. So you notice right now I'm not really mixing that much. I'm more putting in the main colors. But in a little bit I will start to mix. Sometimes I will put in a color a little stronger, because I know that once I mix, once I start doing the blending, the blending will soften it. I haven't got to the eyes yet, but I will in just a moment. You already start to see him developing, right? Many times you need to follow the pattern. For example, here in the behind his ear, the fur falls this way. See the curve? You have to follow the basic shape of whatever it is you're painting. Let's do a little bit of the face. a little bit more in depth. Let's see, let's do his nose right here. A little bit of the mouth. If you've seen my other videos, you know that, and as you saw at the beginning of this one, that I like to pre-mix the paints. Now, just because I pre-mix them doesn't mean that that's the exact color. It's a starting off color. I guess because once I start painting, I just want to paint. I don't want to spend a lot of time mixing. But when I have pre-mixed, I have a good starting off point. And if I need to change the colors, then from that point, it's not as much work anymore. Plus, when you pre-mix, I think what happens too is that it kind of makes your eye immediately start looking for colors. And then just a little bit of... See, this gray I'm using right now is lighter than this black, so... A little bit of the forehead up here. Pull some of this over. Let's start going into some more darker colors. There. Let's see, we have this whole area right here that is darker. But there's some nice orange colors in here. Brownish orange. Even down here. And by his ear. A little bit here too. Detail there. Have some fur patterns going up into this area. See, let's put a little bit of color here, and the reason why, because we start to outline his ear a little bit. Not that we see the ear that great, but a little bit. Some more of this fur down here. It starts getting lighter to our left. You know, the wonderful thing with oils and acrylics is that the mediums are very forgiving. So sometimes you think, oh, I put in the wrong color, I messed up, or I did something too light or too dark. That's okay, because we can fix it. There's not much we cannot fix. We can fix it. A little stronger brownish orange there. Another hint here. We're actually moving right along with this. Let's do a little bit of one of the legs here. We have some more lighter fur coming around. Now, sometimes you might wonder, why do I jump around? Why don't I just do one thing first? Say the face. Why do I jump around? The reason why is because sometimes if I concentrate so much on one area, let's say I concentrate on this, and I think I have it finished. Now I jump over here. When I put this area in, it might make this area too light or too dark, because I had nothing to gauge this on, nothing else to gauge it on. So when I'm jumping around a little bit, this just, well, first of all, it's more exciting. And one area will help me gauge this area, will help me gauge this area, will help me gauge this area. So that's okay. There's nothing wrong with jumping around a little bit. All right, let's see. The paw starts, as we start heading towards the paw, we start getting a little bit of darker colors here. Start coming around. And here we go. I was missing that. We're not going to, as we said, we're not going to do a lot of the bear, just part of it. And what I do in this section will basically apply to the rest of the bear, in case you would like to do it yourself. Plus, it makes my video a little shorter. Let's see, let's go into some of these here, just a few. I think we're almost ready to blend. I start looking for any details that I think would contribute to the painting. For example, yes, there's a little bit of brown right here. Did you see that? Should have told me. I almost missed it. Okay. Little details. Dark. Okay, I think we're ready to blend. So as you know, after I put in the main colors, then I get a brush, usually a flat brush, or perhaps a filbert. Clean it, dry it, and this time I will start off with the face, and we will begin to blend. As you've heard me in the past, don't blend like this, but we will put our brush low and blend in very, very softly in different directions. So let's do that. Some parts don't need a lot of blending. When you start to pick up too many colors and you think they might get dirty, then again, clean your brush. Sometimes you pull the brush in the direction of, again, of the object. In this instance, the curvature of the fur. Some parts you don't want to overly blend because you will get rid of the details. This time I'm blending upwards. Nice. Start going down. See what I'm doing? I'm following the curvature. Follow the curvature. Oops, brush is getting dirty, clean it. Clean. Clean. Now here I took up too much, truthfully. I'll put it back a little bit there. And we will also add a little bit of highlights there. And there. Okay. Now let's see, now I'm looking at the painting, I'm thinking, what else can I do at this point? At this point, what would make me happy? Well, first of all, I'm going to take my liner brush. And you may recall in another video I used a liner brush and I told you what it was for. Lots of times for details, longer lines, outlining, and signatures. So with my liner brush, see how thin and long it is? I'll do a few details. Look at that beautiful little tiny line I did with the liner brush, or script brush. Some people know it as script brush. Where else do I want it? I think that's it. But I do want a little bit more white highlights in some areas, so we're going to do that now. Let's add a little bit more white in some areas. Let's see. Top of the ear here seems to have a little extra white. Yeah, made it stand out. The front here. A little bit right here. A little bit more here. And let's see. Maybe a little bit here. But this is not white, but it's still lighter. And then there is some reflected right under this part, I guess a cheek or jaw. Right under there, there seems to be a little bit of reflected light. So let's put a little bit of light in there. It kind of has a touch of orange brown in it. Okay. And let me emphasize the shadow here. This part's also a little darker. Well, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for following along. All right, I've put in all my calculations. You, sir, are going back to Ireland. You said 6, right? That's right, 6. I'm coming, Penny. I'm coming back. Wait, you know it's 6 months, not 6 years. Huh? 6 years it is. No, stop. Not 6 years. Stop, stop, stop. Uh-oh, did I do that? I'm out of here. Quinn? Quinn, where are you? We were gonna talk? Quinn? This beautiful little tree. Wonder whose it is. Maybe somebody sent it to me. Ah, it's probably a present from a fan. I'm taking you. Hey. Quinn's hat. Huh. Taking you home. Let's go.